Marker, Running Man review, guys. Get right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela Kelly.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. Like, share, and subscribe. And let's get right to it. Angela, what are we talking about today? Your favorite actor.
Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. He's up there.
One of them, right? One of them.
So we are reviewing the remake of The Running Man.
Yep.
So a man joins a game show in which contestants allowed to go anywhere in the world are pursued by hunters hired to kill them. So, of course, we are talking about Glenn Powell. The man's been on fire. He's been in a lot of good projects recently in these past couple of years. And I'm so glad to see it. But to kick us off, I personally will preface this by saying I did not see the previous one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have not seen the original ones.
Yeah.
I apologize. But having seen it, I know you have. How were your expectations going into this remake? And did this live up to the previous film?
So I know a lot of people will always say, you have to compare it to the original. And I gotta say though, the Running Man, the original OG Arnold, Arnold, my boy, a lot of that time period era is such great action movies by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's so amazing to see him act in so many different, almost the same character, but it's all action, right? It's all action movies. Mm-hmm. And if you grew up with those 80s films, you're gonna love them. Those are just, they're nostalgia. They're so amazing. 80s and 90s films. They're so great.
Arnold.
Yeah, no, for real, it really is. But on a lighter note, talking about this particular project here, this is, I didn't even know it was written by Stephen King, actually. That's something I did not know.
Yeah, it's based on the book.
Based on the book and everything that came out in 1982. The runtime in this movie is 2 hours and 13 minutes. The original was an hour and 40 something minutes. So so it's definitely
longer.
And I'm not gonna lie, you feel it in the third act of this movie. I know. I guess I'll start off with the good things. I'll start with the good things because I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, I did not fucking like this movie. I hate to say that. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you the truth, man. What works? I'm gonna say this right now. What works? The graphics work. The CGI works. The action works. So when you talk about, a lot of the action sequences, they work a lot for this film. The strong performance of the casting does a good job in here. Glenn Powell is fantastic in this movie.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Coleman Domingo. Oh my God. He's on fire.
He was funny. He was funny on a certain degree. It's a fresh take on a familiar property that everyone knows about, a familiar IP that everyone knows about. It's a refresher because now it's updated technology now. Yeah. So I'll say that. Yeah.
I also like that we saw familiar faces with Katie O'Brien and William H. Macy. Mm-hmm. I love that we're seeing her in a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
She was. Definitely. I mean, she had a small part, which could have been anyone, but I just love that she's getting more parts. I hope that she continues to get more projects in the part. And of course, William H. Macy, we recognize him anywhere. And then Josh Brolin, come on. And same thing with Coleman Domingo. I love that we're seeing him in a lot more stuff. He definitely is a top tier actor, in my opinion. And I just love seeing him in it. And the role, even though you don't really like his character, I just love the actor, and I think he's great. So for me, I agree. It wasn't the most solid film. I did love certain aspects of it. I loved the cast, but I do see where you say it did drag. Definitely, I don't think it needed to be 2 hours and 13 minutes.
But see, that's the thing too. Yes, the runtime's against it, right? It is. But also, I'm going to stick to the positive because I'm going to go to the negative. But the last positive thing I'm going to say, the dynamic between the Deadly Game Show and it's a longer progression versus the first one. It's like a few hours. So it's definitely interesting to see that because it's a different narrative, a different point of view. And it's it's not dragged out, but it's like the stakes are definitely there. But at the same time, I feel like the stakes become a burden to the movie, if that makes any sense. I know it's crazy for me to say that, but that's switching over to my negative side. The story is crap. I mean, the story is similar to the original. It really is. It's 100% is. They change it up, they make it, but it's not as focused and simple as the first one. I would say it just, and for me, or the original, I'm sorry, I keep saying the first one, the original. And for me, I feel like they were just trying to it couldn't find an identity. I feel like the movie couldn't find an identity. And here's the thing, it's an Edgar Wright film. This movie did not feel like Edgar Wright's films at all. This is the same director that did Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. One of my favorite movies of Edgar Wright is Baby Driver. I fucking love Baby Driver.
I haven't seen any of those.
Fantastic, beautiful film that I just love with Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey. Before Kevin Spacey got canceled, but it's such a great movie. It really is.
Yeah, and Last Night in Soho. I have never seen any of those.
So that was a good one too. That's what I'm saying. Like these movies that I can't believe the same director directed this movie. Because honestly, after watching the movie, I was like, this is Edgar Wright. Like this is already knew behind the scenes. I already knew ahead of this project that hey, he's gonna be directing it. So there's already that like, okay, we know it's Edgar Wright. Cool, awesome. I have expectations now because I know how a really good director he really is, and hey, his name carries weight. It really does. And yeah, I feel like that this movie's second half is such a burden. The scale is definitely not there, and the balancing tone of it between the comedy. There's like random comedy moments that are just written by like a second grader, and it's so poorly done. The comedy is so poorly done. I think I laughed at one or two jokes in the whole movie, and I was just like, I was just so pleasantly disappointed. I mean, I hate to say it, pleasantly disappointed. I'm all like, dude, what the like? The trailers were great, the marketing was great. I mean, I think the trailers were really good and marketing was good. So I just
what about Glenn as
nothing against him. Glenn Powell did a great job as to what was given, but it goes back to the screenwriting, it goes back to the story, it goes back to the script, and I feel like that's what was poorly written and poorly executed. I hate to say that, but yeah. But anyways, what did you?
Well, I disagree. I as much as I didn't love the runtime. It did drag a little bit. I enjoyed the theming of this movie, which again, I haven't seen the first one, but from what I've heard and read, it is very different, the story wise. I really liked the theming of like the media controlling, the government controlling, almost dystopian. I love themes like that, and I really like to watch that, and I really appreciated that story plot in here. I agree, it could have been a stronger story, especially with the characters, but overall I think it was pretty solid. I do think the action was really great and done, and like you said, the CGI and all that action sequences were pretty done really well. I do agree it wasn't the best film, but I liked it for what it was. I loved Glenn in there, I loved Josh, I loved Coleman, I loved all the faces that we saw, all the actors and actresses in the cast in there. I think they did a good job. I don't know if people will like it better than the original, and I am curious to see what people's take on that is.
In my opinion, it's not better than the original.
And you say like, are people going to compare it? I do think it's natural for us to compare it. But I am curious to see if more people are going to like the original, which I think in our little group, once we got out, I think it was more consensus of maybe the original is better. So I am curious to see what you guys think, if you do like this remake or if you like the original. Just let us know. But overall, I thought it wasn't too bad. Did I love it? No, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad in my opinion. I think that if you're going just for like an action movie,
well, the visuals are good.
Just like a regular popcorn movie, I think you will like it for what it is. But again, if you are like a super fan of the first one, this might not live up to expectations.
Well, see, it's not even, I guess, it's that too, but at the same time, I just feel like even if you're an outsider coming in, it's just, you're going to be like, it was okay. Because, I mean, let's be honest, like a lot of the audience, whenever our audience reaction, right, and then typically it's more positive. But even in this one, like the jokes, not everyone was laughing. Like everyone was just kind of like, that's the thing too, is that we as moviegoers, fans, we don't want that. We don't want poorly done script. We don't want any of that. Like I feel like we deserve like a we deserve a really good, well put together story driven, especially if you're gonna do a remake. So it's already done something that's not done, because you're making a remake, right? So you kind of want to don't do the same thing the first one did already. So it's kind of change it up or what have you and everything. So if you're going in to go see the action dynamics, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. You really are, because there's actions there, there's dynamics there. Some of the stuff's unbelievable though, and I feel like it really. We're not gonna mention it, but I feel like it's very, very like shocking how, like what.
I will say though,
based on the world they set up.
The shocking part for me is the where he has the shower towel.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what it is, but once you see it, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
That was pretty. I was like, all right.
Yeah. So
all right, calm down.
Well, that's what I was talking about. But Angela just really, I was like, okay, yeah. So So just stuff like that. I don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to say too much, but it's definitely one of those things to where like it just really wasn't hitting the notes on the scenes and also the like I said already, like the climax was a burden of its own, and just like, you know, I feel like if you would have probably cut out like 30 minutes, but still even the story wasn't driven very well. So I don't know, call me crazy, but rating 1 out of 10 be the highest. I'm going to give this rating.
I give it like a 6. Because I still, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was not too bad. Yeah. I think the cast was great. The CGI and the graphics were good. The action sequences were done really well. The story could have been better, but for what it was, I'm not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a solid 4.5 out of 10. 4.5 out of 10. I expected a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie. I expected a little bit more from Edgar Wright. He's well versed director who just makes these action comedies. He keeps me laughing all the times, and it's an intense comedies and intense that he makes you just has this like dynamic between it, and just I love it. So, but this definitely did not feel like Edgar Wright's style. It definitely did not. But hey, someone called me crazy, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you guys think of The Running Man 2025? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela Dakaliange.
This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. See you at the movies. Latest.